to open the week with Shireen from Trainline. I put a few links to the chat so you can join the Athena community and the Trainline hub and find the amazing career opportunities from Trainline there. And if you have any questions, just use the chat and we will answer all the questions at the end of the presentation. And I'll pass it over for Shireen now.
Thank you, Anna. Hello all, hope you are fine. Today we will be starting Android development together. But before, let me introduce myself. I'm Cyrene. I'm Android developer at Trainline. Started 2 years ago there. I'm full-time mom of 2 beautiful daughters. And the slides are already available on my speaker deck. Just go to that link. And you can follow me on Twitter. I'm working at Trainline, and we are making train ticket booking as easier as possible. There are more than 44 million cumulative downloads of our app, and 84% of our transactions are through our app, Android and iOS. So what's the deal? What is it? Development for Android. Mobile, don't be afraid of that table. I will explain it little by little, okay? Mobile programming is very different from any other programming experience. You have to care about memory and data consumption. It's not always Wi-Fi. From a point of view of a user, you maybe heard about Android 11 or 12. It's maybe your current version on your phone. You can check that by going to settings, about phone, and then software information if you have an Android app, Android phone, sorry. From the point of view of a developer, it's different. It's different. We talk about API level. The column, the second column from the left. So when we are creating an Android app, we will be getting from which API level you will support the user. And you have the cumulative usage, the second column from right, which is showed in the IDU. I will talk about it later, and we will be creating an Android app together and see that percentage. Then there is the code name. You may be seeing tiramisu, snow cone, or maybe Oreo pie, Queen Start. It's more commercial. I don't know if you ever seen that. So the oldest here is Android 5, and we are now, Google is publishing the Android 13. To start, since 2014, Google provides an Android Studio as IDE, which stands for Integrated Development Environment. Before it was Eclipse, and it was a nightmare. Since 2019, Kotlin became the language to develop for Android. Even the views, which were on XML before. Now you don't have to worry about that. We will see that later on. And it's all on Kotlin. You need Android Studio on your computer and Kotlin in your mind. Are you familiar with Kotlin? I don't know. I have to check the chat. So, but before some Android's understanding may help with that. The Android words have a little some lexicon that you have to keep in mind. There is the activity, the fragment, the manifest, and how to do the view, to construct the view. The activity is the entry point of the app. It's a class. It's very important part of the Android component. Any app, doesn't matter how small it is, in terms of code and scalability, has at least one activity class. And unlike the most programming languages, in which the main method is the entry point of that for that program or application to start its execution, the Android operating system initiates the code in an activity instance by invoking specific callbacks, a callback method that correspond to specific stage of its life cycle. We override those methods. So here we have the main activity. We have the onCreate, which is entry, where the app starts, the activity, the main activity of the app starts, and then we continue with the onStart, onResume, onPause, onStop, and onToShow, which are the steps of the activity. We can see it here closely. So the activity launch, then on create, we create the view, we create and we may receive the information from other activities or other applications. Then there is on start. You can continue on initialization there. But keep in mind that when you go on stop, then you can retrieve the on start after. On resume and on pause are the most important one, because when you go to, for an Android app is navigating from activity to activity, or even when you press home button and come back, you come back to this method on resume, and you leave in this method the on pause, and then on stop is when you finish the activity or it's destroyed by the system. On destroy when the activity shuts down, and it does correspond sometimes to that application shut down. Then the fragment. The fragment introduced modularity and reusability into the activities UI by allowing you to divide the UI into discrete chunks. What does it mean? Here, the blue part is the activity, and the green part is the fragment. And you know these UIs, you have seen them on Gmail or in any other app that needs to change from a view to another, like Facebook, but they have tabs on top. And it was introduced when they first introduced tablets on Honeycomb version. Sorry. Activity are the ideal place to put global elements around your app user interface, such as a navigation drawer. This is a navigation drawer that when you can call it the hamburger menu. And The fragment on itself has its own life cycle, which is that it can handle its own input events, but cannot live on its own. They must be hosted by an activity or another fragment. The fragment view hierarchy become a part of or attached to the host view hierarchy. This is the life cycle of a fragment. So the onCreate, it's the activity onCreate. There is after onCreate view, on view created. Here we create the view. Here it's a callback that the view it's already created. And there is always the on resume and on pause. The manifest. The manifest, it's like the identity card of the app. It's what the phone sees. So the phone will see the ID, like here, Trainline starting Android 2022. And this is a unique ID of the app. Even in the Play Store, when you publish, it's the ID of the app. The launcher, the main activity, that means that's the main of that Android application. Do we need internet? True. Do we need camera? False. And this is what it is in an Android app. So we have the manifest XML, we have users permission, so we ask for internet permission. You can see that on the Play Store listing when you have there is internet on that app, it asks for internet or not. Here we have the label, the icon, the theme, the target API, which one we target. Here we target Android 12. The name of the main activity. Is it exported? That means that if it's false, the app doesn't start the activity. It's not visible. So you may encounter that problem. Always put the launcher activity on true. And its name. Here we have, you can have multiple activities, but only one main. This is the package name, which is unique, and it's the ID of the app. The view. What's about the view? Before we were doing the view like all in XML. We were doing the XML for constructing the view as a tree. The resource, theme, colors, all was XML, and it was a nightmare for binding the view from Java or Kotlin code, from the XML to Java or Kotlin code. Like, wait, I can show you here. So I have example activity. Before we were doing like this. We have var text view, and we are finding view by ID, which is this text view, and the layout is here. So we are doing constraint layout. We are defining the button, and it constrained by bottom to bottom of the parent, end to end of the parent, start to start of the parent, and then top to top of the parent. Like that, we do construct like that. Like here, we choose what we need to do from the palette. There is a lot of provided elements. Then we do the constraints here, lay out the width, the height, and the constraints. And this is called it's here, it's attributes. And this is the code generated from that, which this plus means that is a new ID added. And it's wrap content or match parent. Here, match parent, that means that fill all the place, fill all the width, fill all the height. And here it's only wrapping its own content. So this means UI imperative UI. This means imperative UI. And now we will be doing declarative UI. Jetpack Compose introduction. And Jetpack Compose helped reduce line of code as well to improve debugging efficiency. It also improved the runtime performance. So this year, on 2022, on February, Jetpack Compose was announced as stable and ready to be used in production. So the good news it is already only Kotlin for the whole project. The code that we have seen before became like this. So we are defining the button and not all the view. We need a button that is centered. So we put it in a box, and that it is. That's all we need to do. We don't need to define its parent or anything around. There is it's a lot of difference of code. It's like it's not only that we have and now we have only Kotlin code, so we can debug easily because you cannot debug on XML code, and and also there is no trade between XML and Java or Kotlin code. You maybe know another declarative language, which is like Jetpack Compose. It's React. The execution is different, but building the view is almost the same. So see, the only difference between both is that on Jetpack Compose code, we have the @composable annotation that is needed so that the system knows that this is a UI function. I don't know how to code on React, but for me, it's important to show you that if you have some understanding or you know how to develop on React, you may be able to just start on Kotlin like that. The most important thing on developing Android is to join a community. So you can ask, you can chat, and not being alone when developing and when you found errors. So the first link is Reddit. Take a screenshot for this. It's maybe helpful for you. So the first thing is Reddit. It's good for chat with other Android developer. Meetup. The second link is Meetup. Is the link construction is keyword Android and source event. It's to find Android meetups near you. The Android Weekly is a weekly newsletter to inform for Android news and also for some career opportunities. The GDG community dev is GDG stands for Google Developer Group, and there is at least one in every town. So and they have a lot of meetings, meetups. So don't hesitate to go there to participate. And Stack Overflow, I don't need to put it on the slide because it doesn't need to be mentioned anymore. So for this, it's good. It's good that we know what is Android now. We know what is the lexicon, and now we need to develop. So there is some resources on the Android developer website. There is Android Basics in Kotlin, which will have some XML in it, but there is the Android Basics with Compose. This is for experienced Android developer who use Kotlin, Jetpack Compose to start it, and Kotlin Cons. I posted the speaker deck with the links here, so we can go there without searching on the internet. And I think Anna Marie, if you can post the
Yes, I just sent it to the chat. Yeah, everyone can access the link there.
Yeah. And I can open here. Yeah, you still see my screen. So here you have your first Android app. That's what we need, and you can earn some badges. You can explore how to introduction to Kotlin, set up your Android studio, and build basic layout. If you can explore, there is short videos for that. I can skip the we designed birthday card app, and here the CodeLab. So it presents like this. What is Jetpack Compose? The prefix character, the annotation, the function declaration, and so like we have here the main activity. I have to just comment that out. The main activity here we have the composable show background show, and this is a preview. So it's showing the button because I added the centered button here. But if I do that and I do this, which is greeting, build and refresh. Takes some time. We cannot see. It's too small. We need to highlight it. So here it's really simple. So when you create a new app on Android, it's find new, so find new project, and then you choose empty compose activity. I have a lot of my applications, so I will show. I would call it show my code. And here, see, if I choose 21, it will say 98% of devices. It will reach out at 98%. And minimum SDK, I can go to 24. I have more more functions. It's still good, 92%, and I don't have to adapt my code to the earlier ones. This is how it first creates. It's loading, and it does already have the show my code theme, the main activity, the greeting, and the preview, default preview. The set content method is the same as what we have. So what it's same that we have here on the previous Android versions. Android without Jetpack Compose, we have the set content view. I can just not layout expert. Oh, there is a problem with Android 11, but it's okay. It's just my computer. It's for Java 11. It's asking for Java 11, but I don't have it as default one. Same as this one. Yeah. So here is the links. There is the Kotlin. So here I didn't put the Kotlin codes. It's really good one because it's small exercise, small tasks to do to learn Kotlin little by little, and it's very good, really good one. Here is the links for that. You can I put it on a different slide so you can find it on speaker deck and you have a quick access. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the great presentation. I hope everyone learned something new about Android. And we're gonna share this presentation on YouTube so you can always watch it back and get the links. We're gonna share that in the description. I haven't got any questions, but if anyone has any questions, you can always just message us on Discord, and we're gonna share the questions with Trainline. Thank you so much for the presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.